Hi, I'm Timothy Bartel. This is Calafia, an Adventure, Book 1, Section 3. To soothe the Sultan's rage and crucial loss of troops her griffins slew, the Queen proposed they send a letter to the Emperor to challenge crippled Christendom's best lance to joust for the beleaguered city's fate. But Calafia knew her mind. She knew who ruled Byzantium meant little to her, that instead she wished to see the Christian knight who held the gate against her melee, one more clang of her wide blade on his, to test his will, to see his eyes once more. The Sultan sent the letter, told the Queen he was delighted. Just today Esplandian, a Christian prince, has come to aid the Emperor. His blade has shed 6 giants' blood. His serpent ship has seen 100 shores. Then Calafia laughed and said, "His ship has never seen my shore, nor has his blade shed Amazonian blood. I will agree to duel him, though I doubt his skill can match the skill of one I fought at Aquiline. You fought some middling knight, young queen, a Talancay or Norandel, no equal to Esplandian, the Prince of England. He has saved, they say, 12 maidens from their captors. With each he fell in desperate love, but each in turn rejected him, betrothed as he has been since birth to the young princess of Byzantium, Leonorina. Joust Esplandian instead, and win yourself long fame. Your victory could finally deliver Istanbul into my hands. 2 times since that great prophet, bless his name, Mohammed walked the sanded earth, a force of Muslims stood at Christian gates. They failed. For long ago it was foretold that just the 3rd and final sultan who besieged Byzantium would fell her gates. Then all the lamps of Christendom would dim and gutter in a wind that blows out of Medina to the west. For long enough has Christ's cross ruled the deserts of the conquered earth. The crescent and the star will rise, eclipse it. But Calafia knew few tales of prophets, knew no Christian saints. Her prayers were all to Artemis in arms, and Sir Esplandian's famed deeds impressed the moonlight queen much less than one spear lunge by brown-eyed Talancay. As dawn lit all the gilded church domes of the city, Calafia rose to meet Esplandian, the serpent knight, her match. The field was decked as for a tournament, the stands for crowds, the meat and mead, the packed pale dust of jousting lanes, the flags with double-headed eagles on a blood-red field. Opposing seats of honor for the monarchs, where, above their heads, hung colored tapestries depicting a young woman who held in her arms with love a male child. And last, the knight Esplandian, encased in silver armor, stamped with twin-winged serpents, twirled round a cross. The queen was wrapped in shark skull, crowned, her steed a gray-striped tiger with bright violet eyes and curving saber teeth. The Christians gasped at Calafia's steed, the teeth that jagged out from her breastplate, and the circlet of pure rosy gold that held her cords of braided hair in one long splash, descending down her bare and shining back. From Mehmet and his generals, she sensed a smug assurance of her victory, but from the night she felt the seasoned calm of faith, the steel of ready expectation. Now they tilt. Esplandian's white horse cannot quite match the bounding of the beast that bears the queen. She whirls a thin pine staff, then leans as if to fall, dodges the knight's sharp, searching lance point, darts back upright with a smile. It's then she sees eyes, brown as oak bark, in the crowd, the eyes of Talancay, her choice. Then all her muscles flex with the desire for victory, with fire kindled by the sad, strange gaze of that unvanquished man. A second tilt begins. She eyes the thigh of her opponent, sees it rise above his saddle once each gallop. Yes, They clash again. She takes his lance full on the outer shoulder, lets the ripping force fling her into the thrust of her thin staff beneath his thigh. She lifts him. Christians cry out as their champion flips wildly to the sand. Her footsteps light as feather fall on oak leaves. Calafia leaps from the steed down to the sputtering fallen knight. Sword gone, he lifts his buckler up against the dark queen's heavy blade, but with a wheeling blow she halves his shield. She paused. She thought of watching Telenke, but prone Esplandian, the clever, sensed her pause. He leapt and slammed his shield halves against her breastplate, from which blood now seeped. She tumbled backward, and the serpent knight knelt over her and raised his mailed fist. She saw her chance. His armor gaped below his shoulder. Easy it would be to slide her blade between his ribs and rid the world of one more man who grasped at damsels. But she chose instead to brave sure capture if it meant that she could duel Sir Talente, or ask him, as her mother would have never done, to join her. Then the knight above her plunged his humming hand. The Sultan groaned as fist met brow, and Calafia's circlet spun in dust. This has been part 3 of book 1 of Calafia, an Adventure. If you want to read along, you can find the ebook on Amazon. Have a good day.